How you doing? Today I'm going to talk about two different things. I'm going to talk about Wing Chun's 3 fighting range and then Wing Chun's 4 shield distances and how they relate to the 3 empty hand forms in Wing Chun. So starting out wise, when we talk about distance fighting in Wing Chun, you know Wing Chun is a close quarter combat system. The 3 basic ranges are what we call Tan Sao range. This relates to the Silam Tao form. We have elbow range, and this relates to the Chung Q form. And then we have body to body range, and this relates to the Bu Ji form. So how exactly does that work? Well, if I'm going to block punch Ed, and he comes in to block, I don't want to come in here and punch from out this distance right here. If you see here, my arm's fully extended. I'm going to have little to no power on that punch. So when I come in and punch, I want to come in here and have my arm be where that tanza would be. That gives me the maximum amount of force to deliver in my strike. So a couple of common mistakes when people make punches in Wing Chun is they come in here and they punch out from this distance out here. Or conversely, they punch somebody and they're too close right here. And people always talk about the idea of, oh, inching power in Wing Chun. You know, that looks okay for demonstration applications, but really what people are doing when they're doing inching punching is inching pushing. You're going to be having little to no power by punching somebody right here. Your most effective range to punch somebody, palm somebody, using your hand is going to be from this tanzao range right here. So that takes us to our next step. What happens when somebody's inside that tanzao range? That brings us to the elbow range. So if I come in here and if I punch and Ed blocks this, okay, well what can I do from here? Well, my next motion from Chi Sao could be to come in and elbow strike. Now, a couple of common mistakes that people do when they elbow strike is that they telegraph their elbow from too far a distance. If I come in here from closing the gap and I'm going to try to do an elbow strike from here, it's too easy for Ed to counter. Let's see that mile coming a mile away. If I come in here, elbow strike, yeah, see? Just simply counters with a center line punch. And even from Chi Sao wise, if we're here at Chi Sao and I try to do some elbow strike, easy for him to counter. He just holds his position here and counters with a palm strike. No problem. So what happens in the next step when somebody is closer than the elbow range here? That's when we get into the body-to-body application. So if I'm in here from a Chi Sao point and I need to get in and I want to strike body-wise right here, we use the shoulder strike. That's related to what we learned from Bu Ji, is body-to-body application. So how do we do that from closing the gap distance? Well, if I come in here and Ed comes in and punches me right here, he blocks right here, I can come in here, shoulder strike. Now, a couple common mistakes people do when they try to apply shoulder strikes is that they end up leaning on the person. And while that may look good, if you think you're going to be pushing that person away from you, that's actually very dangerous for you, because if my partner feels that, it's going to be easy for him to take control of my center and guide me off and make me his puppet. You never want to be the other guy's puppet. So, let's talk about the 4 shields that we talk about in Wing Chun. Now, the first shield that we talk about is from here, is again from our tanzai range. If Ed comes in and block punches, yeah, I use my hand to block. Again, this relates to what we learned from Silam Tao techniques. So what happens when he comes in and block punches and I miss that with my tanza? I can come in here and block using an elbow. That's what we learned from Chung Q, using an elbow range. If I miss with the first shield, I have a second shield to back it up. Now, what happens if I come in and I miss with my first and second, and I have to go to my third shield? Let's say it comes in and a lot punches me. I come in here, I miss, I use my body to block, use my shoulder. So now, what's the 4th shield I'm talking about? The 4th shield I'm talking about is actually moving your body away from the position of power from where his strike is. So again, he comes in and a lot punches me, yeah, I move my body out of his range right there, and I can come in and counter strike. So you see, forms do have purpose. People that say, oh, I'm just going to waste my time doing a form, have the total wrong idea to learn. Forms play a very important purpose. It's just your ability to see what those forms are teaching us. Forms teach us range, and forms teach us how to use our hands and our bodies in coordination with our body and legs at the same time. Good luck.